What's your goal at the game?
Right now, get gold.
Get gold? How long you been playing?
Yeah. Way too long to be silver.
Well, at least you own it. Let's see. So jungle Yi though, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And top
Yes.
Yi when you get put in top.
Right.
How the f are you in silver, but you have a good win rate? You've been doing pretty well so far. Let me go back through. You say too long to be silver. Let's see if you're being hard on yourself. What's with the lack of discipline and champ selection here? Like, did you just not like goal set for yourself before or what?
No, not really.
What made you change your mindset from wanting to play this game like casually and more competitively? You know what I mean?
I'm tired of being worse than my friends, to be honest.
Tired of being worse than your friends?
Yeah.
I can respect that. Going from this elo to diamonds gonna take work, but going to plat's not gonna take as much work, I think. Let's start by taking one of your losses here and see just kind of what you did. I mean, you're crushing lately, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's see what you did.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
All right, so right away, I'm already getting anxiety. So when you're clearing in jungle, okay, it's your responsibility. All right, view League as every game is just a new hand, okay? I like to use my poker metaphors for a reason. Okay, some games you're gonna clear and you're gonna be dealt the hand where enemies don't push at each other at all and they just kind of break even in lane and just auto the minions and AFK. Kind of like what you see in the pro scene a lot. You see a lot of that, just like farming stuff. Some games you're gonna get something different. So when I say something different, look at this lane for a second and look at how this guy's posturing, okay? So what do we see here? What we see is it, well, first let me ask you, is this lane pushing? If you're Echo, is this lane pushing?
Yeah, lane's pushing pretty hard.
It's pushing. Now, well, think about these champions here. See these two champions? How do they kill each other? Like in space, like how do they kill each other?
Melee?
Right. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how do they fight, right? Let me ask you another question. Are they incentivized are both champions incentivized to kite or to run towards each other?
To run towards each other.
Right, perfect. So what I'm trying to get you to realize is that naturally this is going to be a high it's like a high octane lane, right? Like shit's going to be happening here a lot of the time. By virtue of the fact that when these guys go to farm versus each other, they're going to be incentivized to bump into each other, like physically just run into each other. This isn't as simple as like, it's a Lux and a Xerath and they're just kind of shooting skill shots from 10 screens away. Obviously, ganking that is a little weirder because that would mean you're relying on somebody to hit a CC, right? Like somebody has to hit a fucking Q, or in Xerath's case, it would be like an E. But like here in this case, the lane's pushing in. Katarina's got minions that she's going to want to farm. And this guy's clearly posturing like he wants a piece. So what you should already be doing is when you're looking at the wave coming in, let me get my epic pen up. I got to get it up if you know what I mean, dude.
I got you.
Yeah. So this wave crashes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can see these minions are going to make the wave get stuck right about here. Okay, this is really good for you. When I try to explain laning to people, I always say, and we're talking from Echo's perspective, if you're here in this area as a laner, as Echo, that's not good. If you're here, that's okay, right? And if you're here, that's obviously super safe, right? So as Yi, when you see that Echo's about to come into this zone here, right? You should get really excited because you're level 3. Is Yi weak early, you think?
I think he can be really strong early.
Right. I think so. I think he can be really strong. I think he can kill a lot of champions 1v1 with lethal tempo early, if he's allowed to auto attack. So what you do is you kind of autopilot, in my opinion. Like if I was watching anybody and being hypercritical here, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, even if it was like high elo, I'd be like, there's absolutely no universe where I don't at least like start posturing this way and seeing if maybe I can come in at an angle here. Because again, it's just the hand you were dealt. Okay? Don't ever get it into your head of like, I'm just going to autopilot clear every single time. And I'm going to clear full every single time. Because in my opinion, that is not how you play jungle. You play jungle to react to what's happening on the map. Based on waves, based on matchups, based on, you know, just information you've gathered before. So when you path like this, look at this. That, to me, that would have been a free kill. Because what would have happened? I think we've already missed a kill. Because you would, if I was you and I saw this, I would have just kited to the right. Like, I would have kited this way and started moving to this bush. So watch it play out again. And you see it happens exactly like I just ran. I didn't see the VOD before, did I? I have no idea what's happening, right? So right here, look. Imagine you're kiting to the right. Look at the trade. Ready? Bam. You're right here. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
This guy dies here. You realize you could just walk at him and start autoing. If he flashes, you Q, he's dead. Like, he's dead every time. Do you see? That's a free kill.
Right.
And we don't get it. Which, to me, when I go through a VOD, if I see some shit like that, I can just immediately go and I can say, okay, that's something that you need to work on right away, right? You need to be paying attention to the VOD and making sure, or paying attention to the game and making sure when you're clearing, you're thinking about your gank. And again, it's not like I'm cheating in some way, right? This is all fundamentals. I look at your VOD and I see it right away that we miss a first blood. That's a huge, to me, that's a red flag, right? If we're dropping free kills, that means you're not seeing those opportunities. And it's okay, like I miss opportunities still. But that one to me is just it's a gold mine one, right? It's like free. It's like you're gonna snowball the whole game if you get that. So let's skim this one real quick. So this time you're facing Warwick. Lane states look a little different this time. So same thing. When you're clearing, I imagine I'm you. So let's get back to you. And I look at the map. So what I see right now is I see Rise has pushed in. So what can we do with this as Master Yi?
Rise being pushed in.
Yeah, but he's pushing in.
Wait for the counter gank on work if he comes.
I like that, but I have something that's even better. So you got this again. You have to play the hands you're dealt. Okay, I want this in your head for the rest of the session. We're playing what we're dealt. You see this ward right here?
Mm-hmm.
Rise is pushing in, right?
Right.
I want you to see Veigar's vision. Okay, so you're finishing chickens. Right? This is another situation where I would come up with the most aggressive way to get fed as fast as possible in low elo and push boundaries. Okay, so here, Warwick's good early, but so are you, right? And I would argue that it doesn't matter if your champion's fucking garbage early. If you catch somebody off guard while they're farming, you're gonna win. Okay? So now that you know this, look what I'm thinking. Similar logic. You could go either way. So you could go like you did. Or you could go like this. I propose going through Veigar's blind spot here.
Cheating up to his chickens and killing Warwick.
I would just go to his red.
His red? Okay.
Yeah, so the idea is you want to get out of vision. Now remember, in this game, you know that they have ward here. Or I think you should. Let me double check that.
It's our word.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching. Oh, okay, got it. I thought for some reason there was like it was a red team ward or something.
Gotcha.
Like in that spot. Anyways, so here, look, you're pathing up. Now imagine you just go out of vision through this blind spot when Rise pushes up. And now you're moving your way towards the red here.
Okay.
Now what you could do is you have multiple options. So you could just Let me draw it out so you understand. The key with these invades is you do not want to get spotted on vision. So you would check, you know that red's good. So you know he's probably on chickens, right? So what you would do is you would just move like this.
Okay.
This would keep you out of vision the whole time. And then the minute that he's on chickens, you would just flank him essentially right here. That puts him, see, you still have the prio. That puts him in a really tough spot because you will just kill him there with lethal tempo. I mean, the guy's running fucking fleet for some reason, which whatever. Other options you have, you could actually, if you wanted, you could go for his red just outright, but I would just try to kill him because you know that he's over there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like at the beginning of the game, you know he starts blue, and you know he does not know that you're in his jungle, and you're gonna get that cheeky little early game momentum that you really want. And Master Yi, in my opinion, with Master Yi, if you can get early game momentum, the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that statement?
100%.
So in both games, I feel like you're not seeing opportunities, right? Like, or maybe you could argue, well, NEACE, I want a full clear because it's more stable for me or whatever. And I would say, okay, that's fair. But you need to realize that you're at an elo where you can afford to learn. Right?
Okay. Usually I'm trying to clear my jungle, get scuttle, and then get my
Oh, if it makes sense to do that, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be games where that's all you can do, right? That's the only logical, safe thing to do. But I'm showing you you see it, right? Like it's not really a debate.
Right.
Like you see both games, you have very, very decisive moves you can make to get yourself ahead of the lobby off the rip. And that's what I'm trying to get you to start thinking about because he's so good early. That's how I would play him.
Okay.
All right, let's get a couple games in.
Alrighty.
And now that we've kind of put that in your head, you can go ahead and share your screen. I put that in your head. You can kind of start seeing like, okay, I need to pay more attention on these routes to make sure that I'm actually extracting the most value out of the situations that I'm given. Because if you're just going to autopilot clear to scuttle every game, yeah, you can win doing that, but it's just not going to make you a good player. And not to mention, Yi's strength is that he can do the shit that I'm showing you. I would not have like a Nocturne player doing this type of invade very often or those types of early ganks very often. Although both games you could argue for either of those plays. But with Yi, it's like you're missing value if you're not trying to do this. Because your champion is just so good early. Honestly, Yi's like GOAT early game jungler. He's just a GOAT jungler in general in low elo. So